All right. Well, I think it's 6:30. I think we can get started. There's a few people on video and looks like we've got a couple of people on Facebook Live. So I am going to see here. Is everybody seeing the video? Okay. So I am not going to be able to see comments while I'm live. So if people, if you have something that you want to add or some questions that you have, feel free to stop and ask. I can see, looks like I can see comments on Facebook, but if somebody leaves a comment, if you guys can just let me know, that'd be a big help. So, but I don't want to waste anyone's time. So we're just going to go ahead and get started. Hopefully for anybody that doesn't know, I'm Katee Gerling. So I am the, I guess, quasi-president for now until we officially send out our votes. And I apologize that we're a week late in the meeting. I feel like Christmas, I have no idea. I feel like December just started yesterday. And so not quite sure how we ended up a week before Christmas, but here we are. So I'm going to start off this meeting with our mission and our purpose: to serve as a historical, patriotic, and non-political international organization dedicated to honoring the legacies of those who served in the Vietnam War, to create a community that connects, supports, and advocates for each other, to maintain and upkeep memorials created to honor the Vietnam War, and to educate and inform those seeking information and history on the Vietnam War. And then lastly, to work with and support the National Vietnam War Museum in promoting an understanding of the Vietnam War for generations to come. In our meeting today, we'll go over financial report, some exciting advertisement. We'll talk about our membership update. We're going to go into the spring fundraiser for the museum that's happening in March. Talk about some donations and how our group wants to be a part of that. And then I have some exciting updates on the actual museum itself. So I was just out in Texas just a couple weeks ago and was able to walk through the museum, as well as we met with a builder. So I'm going to talk about some updates on the museum, on the grand opening. We now have a grand opening date, and some possible opportunities that are out there and some needs that the museum has right now. And then we're going to, in old business, I have honor veteran, the scrapbook. And I also I'm going to leave some time at the end for any questions that anyone has. So with that, I'm just going to go right into our leadership council. Currently has our secretary with our backup, neither of which are able to make it tonight. So they're going to be keeping messages or taking notes on the recorded video afterwards. So we are being recorded. Excuse me. We have myself, Crystal Hudson, Thomas Richardson, and Kim Kearney. And I think we introduced them during the last meeting, so I won't go through, but their bios will be here. And the PowerPoint slides are going to be available online afterwards as well for anybody that wants to read through those. I'm not really a big proponent of just reading through slides, I think. So that's where we're at. If anybody is interested in taking on more of a role, we certainly have room for that. We're going to do some official voting coming up here in April. So anybody that is a paid member will be able to vote for that leadership, those leaderships. So you guys can vote me out too. All that extra time I might have. All right. So moving on, we'll talk about our current budget. Paid memberships, we have $1,175. That's 47 members. There's actually, as of today, there's 3 pending members that I just need to go through and approve. We had an anonymous donation of $1,000, bringing our income to $2,175. Expenses, we talked, if you look here, the April expenses I left on there. And the new expenses that we have now are the brochures that that I created, and we did need more stamps. So for mailing, I did run out of stamps. Our mailing costs a little bit extra because it's non-machine sortable, because we are mailing that pin with it, so they can't go through the machine for sorting. So it's not normal postage. We have to do an extra postage. So so yeah, so our total expenses thus far, $726.91, leaving us with a bank balance of $1,448.09. Do we have any questions on the finances? We do have receipts for everything. So everything, you know, transparency is really important, especially when you're dealing with finances. So if anybody has any need to see any receipts or anything, those are always available. All right, we will move along. The brochures, actually, and hang on one second, let me grab them. So, yep, did we lose me on? So kind of exciting that these are our new. Did my video turn off? I don't know. Can you guys see me? Maybe not.
No.
You can't, can you? Well, that can't be good. All right, one second here. There we go. I don't know why it turned off. There we go. Okay. So this is the brochure that I created, and they're nicely printed. We have the inside that talks about how you can become a member, talks about, let me see here. Maybe that's a little bit better. So the idea is to get these brochures into VFWs and any other veteran organizations. I just don't know why that video keeps going off. I know I'm screen sharing. Come on. It just does not want me to have my video on. So hopefully it comes back up. I don't know why. All right, well, so those, at least you got to see the videos. So, or at least you got to see the brochures. So we do have some requests for videos or for brochures from people. If anyone on the call here is interested in, you know, in having some brochures, I can certainly send them out. I think the idea is just to get them out to as many places as you can. I would start with, you know, small amounts, maybe, you know, drop 5 or 10 off at a place, and, you know, just check back and see if people are interested in them, and we'll just get them, you know, get them out as many places as we can get all over, you know, all over the US. So I do have some requests. I'd like to be able to print 500 more. I'm checking pricing, and then once I have all of the pricing set, I think that it's a good expense. I think that we could easily recoup that money with memberships, with new memberships. And I just think it's important to continue to grow our group. And we just aren't going to be able to grow our group unless we sort of expand our reach. So that's where we are with the brochures and the advertisement. As for sharing the Facebook group, you know, I think that it's very important that we're all sharing this group. I, in fact, just today left a post on my personal page. You know, I copied the link to the group and just said, you know, are you a son or daughter of Vietnam vet? And, you know, and I was surprised I had friends on there that had not already joined today. So that's good. We just don't know how many people we're reaching, and talking to your friends and your family, liking us on, make sure that you're on our Facebook and our Instagram, and being active on those groups too as well, sharing, liking things, so that we look a little more active. I know that there's quite a few Vietnam sons and daughters groups out there, and they seem very, very active, and they all seem to have kind of a different purpose. So yeah, that is where we are with our advertisement. And like I said, I'm going to print some more brochures, but we do have some that I can send out at this time if you have some groups that you want to share to. So I keep trying to get my video to start, but for whatever reason, it just does not want to start. Just 1 second here. I'm just going to check something. I'm going to restart my video and see if that. No. All right. Anyways, we'll just keep going. As for membership, here's where we are. Looks like August was a pretty big month. October, we did get a few in. I just wasn't able to process them until November. But yeah, it's slowed down towards the end of the year. I think, it was a big push right at the beginning, and just not, I'm not sure how else to continue to reach people. So everybody's help is needed. We have, as we talked about in our membership, we have the frameable certificate that's coming that you get the pin. We are having a couple of speaker events that are going to come up at the beginning of the year here. And voting rights, that'll be important. You're going to have a national membership number that's yours for lifetime. So even if you have a lapse in membership, you'll still have that membership number. And then the founding member plaque that we'll talk about in just a little bit, that's going to be permanently displayed at the museum. And then the newsletter. So I was just told that they did not send the newsletter out to the members, this last newsletter. So we do have one that was just sent to printing, and I did make sure that everybody that was a paid member was going to be getting that newsletter. So you should be getting that if you're a paid member, I believe it's going to be sent out the first week in January. I'll put it on the Facebook page as well. And if you don't get it, I need to know that. So just send me a message once you see that post to let me know, because that is part of your membership and you should be getting that museum newsletter. So any questions there on membership? Is there any hesitation that people have with joining the membership? Is the fee too much, too little? What are the thoughts there? Nothing? Okay. All right. We will move.
Well, I have a question, Katie. What are we going to do for renewal? Is it going to be the same amount, and when is that going to be?
Yeah, I think $25 is a reasonable amount at this point.
Very reasonable.
Yeah, I think so, but I do think that we are going to be adding the option for a lifetime membership as well. So that's going to be something that's going to go out to the voting members to decide what that lifetime membership fee should be. At this point, I'm not, I don't know. I don't want to make it an amount that people are going to, balk at, but I certainly don't want to, undersell the lifetime membership either. So
sure.
But yeah, so I think, and there'll be special, things for the lifetime membership as well. Like I was thinking of printing a special pin for lifetime membership. And So that's just my thoughts. But again, I'm open to any thoughts that anybody has. I've been sort of looking at other groups and trying to see what other groups are doing for lifetime members as well. So.
And then my other question would be is new people that would come on in 2022, will it still be 25 or are we going to increase that at all?
Yeah, my thought was it would stay the same. For now, I think, membership just seems to be coming in slow, and I'm really unsure of the hesitation and so I'm trying to kind of feel the waters and get some feedback as to, anybody that has not paid that membership, what's the hesitation? Are we not offering enough? Are we, or is there questions about, so I guess that's where I'm at, is trying to figure out, I don't want to increase the membership when we're sort of slow going on membership already. I really thought 100 was, and this was back in, what did we start in April? I really thought getting to 100 would be a simple task. So I'm just, I'm sort of at a loss trying to figure out where the hesitation is.
Okay.
So, does anybody have any thoughts on it? Is everybody here a paid member, I guess? Does anyone have any thoughts on what would be the hesitation on becoming a member?
Katie?
Yeah.
Hey, no, I think the membership's great. I think everything that you sent was fabulous. My hesitation was that, by the way, this is Jill Hamilton. Sorry, I have 12 things going on at once. That's why my not on. Is that, are you legitimate? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That was my thing. And I looked into everything you sent. And so maybe there is hesitation. And also when you said there's other groups, do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I think that once, because you obviously care about what's going on, I think the momentum is going to pick up.
Okay.
So I wouldn't be too worried, because at least from where I'm sitting, it's good. It's a really good, it's very nice, very well done and legitimate.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate that feedback. Thank you. Yes, we are. I think being under the museum sort of adds a little bit more to our legitimacy. I also don't, just so that you know, I'm not keeping any of the, I can't share this. Gosh, I don't know why it drives me nuts that I can't share my video. Just let me see 1 second here and see. I'm going to try my other camera. Okay. And I'll go back. Yeah, it just doesn't want to. Anyways, I'm not putting any of the membership information online or digitalizing it. So, if you send that information in, it won't be it won't be put online at this point. So, so I think, I hope that gives, I know there was some questions about, what, this is private information. We want to make sure that, that it's safe. And I certainly agree with that. I wouldn't want my father's information out there for, the world to see or to find or to be hacked or anything like that. So I don't even scan it and put it on my computer. I actually have a great big huge binder, and I put everybody's information into the binder. So it's all old school. And, I can refer back to everything or anything that I need. However, it's just not, and it's not going to be online. So, so does anybody have any questions about membership? No? Okay. Well, we will go ahead and move on. The spring fundraiser. So the museum is having their spring fundraiser. This is a big fundraiser. Hundreds of people attended. It's a well-attended event. This will be obviously, because we are a new group, we have not been represented at this fundraiser. I think this is going to be an excellent opportunity for us to kind of showcase ourselves and to, to get some new members as well, and to really show what we've been doing and, what our goals and plans are going forward. And I'm kind of excited to also get to meet some people face to face as well. So I'm not asking for any money from the group or anything. I went ahead and booked myself the King Hospitality Suite. And so we would have a place that we could meet for the fundraiser. The fundraiser is March 26th, which is a Saturday. And I'll be there most of that week already. So you can see, this is a couple pictures of the King Hospitality Suite. So we are definitely going to have a good amount of space to have a meetup. It's in Texas, so I'm not sure how many are in Texas, but I wasn't sure. I'll be sending out just kind of feelers to see if there's interest in a Friday night, an informal wine and dine kind of a thing. If people want to just stop by, if you're flying in or if you're staying at the hotel, or something. Otherwise, our official meet and greet's going to be Saturday from 2 to 5. And the fundraiser starts at 5:30. So I'm hoping that if you're local to town that you'll join for the fundraiser. Everybody should be getting a special invite to the fundraiser. And so that'll be sent out via email. There's also, we'll post it on the website, and anyone is welcome and encouraged to come and attend. And we'd love to meet you. But yeah, I think we'll have some wine, some hors d'oeuvres, and just a place that we can all kind of gather and meet. So I don't know how does that sound? Our official meet and greet for our group?
Sounds great.
Yeah. So, okay. And that's at the Crazy Water Hotel, and that's in Mineral Wells, Texas. And also I was told that if anyone is interested, we can set up on that Friday. We might possibly be able to do it on Saturday, but there's so much going on Saturday with the fundraiser and everything. But we might possibly be able to get a private tour for the group on Friday as well. So if you're in town and you're interested in walking through the museum, it's not open yet, but we can open it to give you a private tour. So, all right. And our involvement in the museum. So it is a fundraiser, certainly a fundraiser. I'd really love our group, to be able, we have about 300 people on Facebook. I've got about another 200 people that have been emailing the website in the last few months. And, and then we have, our 50 paid members. And so what I'd like to do is commit to, I put 10, if we could even commit to 5 baskets that could be a part of either a drawing or a silent auction. So I'm gonna, you'll see some messages coming out about just asking, maybe you're a pampered chef or, Etsy, or there's so many different groups out there. And if you have something that you could donate, and I'm going to have a Amazon gift list of some items that, that we'd like to put together baskets for. And so you can shop right off of that Amazon gift list as well. But I think that, I think it's a good opportunity to show, to be a part of this museum and show our support of the museum. So, and then I was thinking that we would also run a 50-50 drawing while we were there. So anyone who's not familiar with the 50-50 drawing, it's basically just tickets. You spend $10, you buy a ticket for $10. At the end of the night, we do a drawing, and 50% of what was brought in is given to the winner. So, and then 50% will go to the museum. So that was one of the things that that I thought, it's an easy one, doesn't take any donations, doesn't take much just to sell the tickets and And then we're able to, to show, and the tickets will say Sons and Daughters of the Vietnam War. So it'll be, it'll be obvious to anyone buying that this is our part, our part in the fundraiser. So those are just two ways that I thought we could, help out with this fundraiser. I think it's important. I think it'll be, a great way to showcase the Sons and Daughters group as well. So, so if you have anything that you want to reach out to, or if you'd like to donate, just let me know. Let me just see here. It looks like there is a chat. Okay. It's driving me nuts that I can't have my video on. I keep trying to click it, but it just doesn't want to. So, okay. Moving right along, our museum updates. Like I said, I was just in Florida, in Texas, just a couple of weeks ago, and it's just so exciting every time I'm there to walk through the museum. It's exciting that we finally have our grand opening date, and it just feels good to be able to say that. So Jim Messenger has been doing some walkthroughs already, and the feedback has just been phenomenal on, on just people being so excited watching these dioramas get set up. To the bottom left picture is it's hard to see, but it's a Vietnamese hut. There's a foxhole right next to it that sort of has this area that kids can kind of crawl into the foxhole and look up. So that's pretty cool. And then and so we have I believe he's a student. He's still charging us, and he's, the museum's paying, but he's setting up various dioramas like this one. This one is not, as you can see, there's still building materials and all that, but it's pretty cool to be able to see these, these areas kind of coming together. And yeah, he definitely has his work cut out for him. He's been working really hard getting these set up, and he's just doing a beautiful job. So so we're excited to kind of see these come together. So there's there's various exhibits that are set up. That's the second picture. The middle picture you're looking at is just a whole hallway full of these exhibits that just represent different areas of the war. And I think that first one you're looking at, yeah, so that's on the POW MIAs. And so and the top photo, I know this is it. You're probably like, okay, great, the elevator, but this elevator has been just a crutch for like a year. We've had so many problems with this elevator, trying to get it correct, and it didn't pass inspection, and then we had to go back and start again. It's just been the most difficult thing. So we couldn't open without the elevator being completed, because we have to be fully ADA compliant. And so the elevator is now working. We have passed inspection, and so that's Jim right there standing in the elevator with his shot. So kind of exciting news for those of us on the board that have gone through the pain and hassle of this damn elevator. So yeah, and then the other thing is we received a big donation of some furniture and some desks and everything. And so we actually have our space now set up for where our employees will be, our curator, everything. And we have the start of our conference room. So we don't have everything we need for our conference room quite yet, but we have the start of a conference room. And that's where we're having our meetings. That's where, we'll be able to have some get-togethers for our group as well, if people at some point become interested in meeting in person, even just doing a once a year in-person meet at the museum. So so that's something that we're able to utilize as well. My thought is having some live events there as well, having some speakers come in. So we're now having our monthly meetings there for the Vietnam War Museum board. And those are in person at at the, but we still, we'll talk a little bit later about some needs that we have there. So our grand opening, you heard me mention that. This is, that's what is very exciting, is we have June 25th is our grand opening. Our keynote speaker, I'm not sure if you recognize him, so that's Troy Evans. He served 2 tours. I don't think he served both those tours with the 25th Infantry, but I do know that he served 2 tours in Vietnam. He's had numerous acting roles, Bosch, ER, plenty more. So he's going to be our keynote speaker this year, or at the grand opening. That's pretty exciting. There's actually quite a lot that's going to be going on at the grand opening. And then for our paid members, as promised, we are going to have a reserved section for you. So there's going to be an RSVP form that's going to be sent out, because they need to have some sort of idea of, of how many people you're going to be bringing along with you as well. Because obviously I'm not going to make you sit somewhere else aside from your family or friends. So yeah, so we'll have that, and that'll be of no charge. So we're just going to have a really nice section to highlight our sons and daughters group. So hopefully we can get a good turnout at the grand opening for our group. And then, and we'll be speaking a little bit during the grand opening about our group as well too. So just a little bit more publicity on, showcasing our group and the awesome things that, that we've got on the pipeline. So special invitations are actually going to be mailed out for that. So you'll get it in the mail, and it'll come with an RSVP card that will ask you to return for that. So does anybody have any questions about the grand opening? No. All right. You guys are just a quiet bunch. All right. Phase 2 building. So the museum opening, I'm just letting you know. So the phase 2 is a second building. This was always in the work, having 3 buildings on the site. So we have a large site. Now that we have finished building 1, we have our grand opening for building 1. We have to start the plans for building 2 as well. And so one of the first things that we are looking for is a commercial interior designer. So there is a budget for this. This is not a volunteer job by any means, but we are, if you have somebody or somebody, we would prefer if there was some sort of Vietnam War connection. I just think that, when we're doing artist concepts, that's certainly important. But basically they're just in order for us to start our fundraising for that, we need to get those artist concepts, drawn up and out. So I just wanted to bring that out to the sons and daughters group as well, in case anybody has any connections or knows anyone. It's a commercial interior designer really that we're looking for. So reach out to me. You can reach out to me privately if you know anyone, and just let me know. Like I said, this is not a volunteer position by any means. So the next thing is we are also taking applications for the curator job. I think we talked about this within our group before too. It's a full-time position. It reports to the board of directors, and it's going to collaborate on projects, donations, events, designs, typical curator. So you'll be overseeing, exhibit design, development, construction, managing day-to-day, developing educational programming, funding proposals. It's quite a lot. So, and again, this, is a fully paid position. And that we're not going to release the pay at this point. But if you are interested, if this is something that you're interested in, it will be in Mineral Wells there at the museum. And so if you know anybody in Texas that fits the qualifications, we want science, history, archaeology, art history, museum management, and or if you at least 5 years of experience. So and management experience is going to be a plus. You'll be managing any other employees as well as any volunteers. So big job, but if that's where your line, we're starting to take resumes on that now. So does anybody have any questions on either one of those positions that I just talked about? So we have the commercial interior designer and the curator job. No, okay. So we are going to move forward then. We talked about the conference room needs. I think it's just important to put this out there for people. I know that there are plenty of companies, mine included, that are going to more of a work from home model. So they're, downsizing their offices and, going to different. And so what we're looking for is a nice conference room table. Fits, at least 12 people with, with matching chairs, ceiling mounted projector and a projector screen. Those are our big needs to kind of finish out our conference room at the museum. So if you have any connections, anybody that that's getting rid of office furniture, just let me know, and we can definitely work out. We've got some people in Texas that can help pick things up, and if there's delivery issues, or if you have any ideas, just like I said, just let me know. And all donations, we can, with the museum, we can provide a tax deductible receipt for those. All right. The scrapbook. So we'll moving right along with our scrapbook. Here's the thing is that we only have one so far. So only one person has sent a scrapbook in. And we do have the scrapbook at the museum. Now, our museum is opening to the public, as you saw, in June, right? So let's get our scrapbook filled up. Let's get those, it's just a 12 by 12 page, that honors your veteran. You get to choose, how you do it. And, you can coordinate with your family. You can do it on your own, however you want. But I think the scrapbook is currently at the museum. And so, we don't want somebody to open the scrapbook and it to be empty, right? We want to showcase our veterans. This is a perfect opportunity to, to honor your veteran at the museum. And so let's get those scrapbook pages in. Let me know if you intend on doing one, so that I can bug you a little bit more about moving forward on it. And most content's available. I'm going to go ahead and fully admit that I don't have my scrapbook page done yet either. So so no worries for everybody that hasn't done it, because I certainly have not done mine either. I was a little worried about when I showed up at the museum, and I thought, well, this is no good, because we don't have anything in our scrapbook, and we definitely don't want to display an empty scrapbook. So let's get the scrapbook pages in. Quit dragging our heels. I'm gonna do the same. So anybody can, that's the other thing about, I think there was also, I forgot, I fielded a couple of questions about the scrapbook. You do not have to be a paid member to do a scrapbook page. I think that's very important for everybody to know, that we want to honor any and all veterans. So you don't need to be a paid member. If you want to send a scrapbook page in, we want your scrapbook page. So if you have more than one veteran you want to honor, you can definitely add. I know that there was a few people that talked about like brothers. We can certainly have those pages next to each other. It's just one per person. But if you if you send in more than one, we'll make sure that, that they're together. I know somebody was talking about doing 2 pages that sort of connected, even though they were 2 different veterans. And so, we can certainly accommodate all of that, but yeah, let's get those in. So, so you're gonna, I think you're gonna see now that we have a museum open date and we really need to get our group, there, everything in, at the museum. I think that you're probably going to get sick of me on Facebook, because I'm just going to be sending constant, like, here's what I need, you guys, let's get these pages done. Let's get these brochures out. Let's just show more. We want to be an active group. I think when we talked about a lot of the other groups of Vietnam, sons and daughters, it's one thing to be active on Facebook, or, but my thought is that this group, I want us to be active in the community. One of the things that I've been working on is an exhaustive list of all of the memorials throughout the US for the Vietnam War. And so I'm almost complete with, what I've been able to find in the 50 states. And then what I really want us to do going forward with those is I would like to then connect with some of our sons and daughters and sort of, have you guys looking at these lists and finding out, is somebody taking care of it? Can we get an updated picture of it, so that we make sure there's somebody around there that's, that's making sure these memorials are being taken care of. They're on a grounds where somebody is actively, caring for them. If not, can we get you to connect with, a local Boy Scout group, or, a local even Girl Scout group, or, somebody in the area that maybe can commit then to making sure those, even just a couple of times a year, making sure those memorials are cared for and the grounds that they're on are cleared, so that, going forward, we can take more of an active role in making sure that anything, around the US that relates to the Vietnam War is being cared for. So my thought is that we become more of an active group, not just, a Facebook group where, people post and that's all that, that we are. So, yeah, so that's something that you're going to see that's definitely going to be coming up. And, as our group grows, we'll be able to do a lot more of those meetings in person, and, throughout, we certainly can do annual meetings at the museum. We can switch up our places where we're meeting too, if there's, if we have more of regional concentration somewhere. So yeah, so that's where my thought is on that. So I think, with that said, same thing as last meeting that I talked about, where we need some help. Anybody that's interested in writing an article, maybe something happened in your local area with, regards to the Vietnam War, or maybe the veterans, did something, or, let me know. I am always looking for people that want to add to that. And the newsletter is really informal. And so, we can't get political and all that, because we're a 501, C3. So that kind of stuff is just not okay. But we certainly can be reporting on, on local things. And, we do report on, things happening at the museum. So, and then I still haven't had anyone step up that's interested in helping with our business plan and incorporation. It's almost there, but it's just so much work. And so I think, I need to focus on that and get us incorporated. Right now, we're okay because we're under the leadership of the museum. So we do have, some incorporation there already. But, if we continue to grow, we really want to, to go ahead and get incorporated on ourselves. Darren, did you have a question?
Yeah, I did. I'm sorry I joined late, and it's the first meeting that I'm actually attending. But anyway, if an article is written by some, if there's another related event for a group of veterans, is that something that you would want potentially, referenced? Is there any value there, or, is it not? I mean, but the example is my dad's in a helicopter, a group, and there was, a bunch of them met, and there was a local news coverage of it, and I just didn't know, like, is that something that makes sense, or is it not? That's not the kind of thing that you'd want to reference, and I just don't know what.
Yeah, no, it absolutely is what we want to reference. The museum touches, it's the National Vietnam War Museum. So the idea is that, we are reporting on national news that, that relates to that. So yes, I would love to have an article. At this point, I come up with every article. I put the newsletter together by myself. And so, I mean, nobody wants to hear that much from me. So I love having, having more, more topics in there. If I run out of, things to write about or whatever, I actually, sometimes I've had a page in there that specifically says, Vietnam War news throughout the country. And I just put in little blips of, things going on throughout the country. But yeah, we love to have anything related. And I think that the readers love it too. They love to hear about anything going on throughout. And I'll tell you, especially if it pertains to helicopters as well, because that's why we are in Mineral Wells. I wasn't sure if anybody understood why we were in the area that we were in, but we are just down the road from where most of the helicopter pilots for the Vietnam War trained.
Yep.
Right there in Mineral Wells. And so we do have a very large concentration of our active members that were helicopter pilots. So yeah, they would love to have that kind of an article in there.
Yeah, and I'll contact you on some other stuff that we had started to talk about earlier this year, and then just the year kind of flew by. But I have a couple ideas on kind of that note as well. So I'm going to send you an email right now.
I love it. I love it. Thank you. Yeah. So, all right. Does anyone else have anything? I think, yeah. So I'm going to stop sharing. Maybe my video will stop if I do that. We'll see. Wait. Oh, there we go. Stop share. We'll see if my video comes back on now. Yeah, it just does not want to show my face. That's okay. Failed to start. Please select another. Yeah. Yep. Just does not want to show my face. That's okay. So the video is going to be posted to, well, I think you'll be able to view it on the Facebook group as well. So if you're on the Facebook group, we're streaming live onto the Facebook group, so you can see it there. But I also am going to post it to our YouTube channel, and the slides and the video will be posted as well to our Facebook or to our website. So you can, and I can send the slides to anybody via email too, if that's easy. But at this point, is there anything anybody wants to add, or any questions that anyone has? No? Well, that's good. And we kept it under an hour, as I promised. So, all right. Well, I appreciate everybody being on here, and I appreciate all the help that everybody does. And like I said, you're going to see some messages coming through via email, and and we'll just try and get as much of a showing going. And I look forward to hopefully meeting everybody at the event too. That's going to be kind of exciting to have a little bit of a meet and greet prior to our fundraiser in March. So I will bring plenty of wine and beer. So, all right. Well, thank you, everyone. And we will we'll chat. I promise that the next meeting I won't be a week late. So thank you. And we'll talk later.
Thanks, Katie.